Look at your belts, now look at my belts, yeah. I'm not overcompensating for anything.
Alright guys, so when I turned 18, I went out to a local market and I bought me a scratcher for the first time being 18 years old, which was roughly around 20 years ago. And the first scratcher I bought, I won $200. And with that being said, the first thing I thought of when I won that scratcher was, I want a WWF belt. And with that being said, I bought this in 3, 2, 1. Bam. The WWF Attitude Big Eagle belt. Okay guys, so let's take a look at this belt. Now, before I say anything, this belt has a lot of emotional connection to this. It was the first belt I ever bought. I bought this belt in 2002, I believe, 2001. It's roughly that area when I turned 18. So you can do the math in regards to how old I am. But obviously this was a big title when Stone Cold Steve Austin was champion. But this was also the only belt that actually was available. This belt, there wasn't a whole lot of places that sold wrestling belts. Back then, if it was my choice, I would have chosen the Winged Eagle back then, because like I said in past videos, the Winged Eagle is my favorite belt of all time. However, this was the only belt that was available, but it's not like I was like, okay, well, this is the only belt, so I might as well buy it. No, like, this belt was always one of my favorites as well. It was pretty much like the updated version of the Winged Eagle. So when I got it, I was still young. I didn't have a credit card or anything, so I asked a friend to buy it for me. I paid them, and then a few weeks later, bam, got the Big Eagle. Now, fast forward to today, being older, seeing replica belts, seeing so many wonderful belt makers, you start to kind of see, you know, different little things. First off, this belt was made by Figurestoycompany, which was and is, I believe, is somewhat associated with WWF, WWE. At the time, they were like the ones that made the WWF, WWE belts. And this was the one that I saw that was only available. I'm pretty sure they had other belts, but they didn't have a Winged Eagle at the time that I saw. I only paid $200 for it. So it was about, I think it was $199.99 plus tax. It was like $230. So I didn't pay a whole lot for this belt. And now fast forwarding to today, I am starting to see why. Let's first look at it, okay? So obviously this belt has the WWF, WWE faux leather, or the fake leather. Now, at first glance, you know, you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, it's got floppy leather. The reason why this leather is floppy is because it's a 20-year-old belt. So it's not the best leather. I would say it's pretty much the same as WWF.com, WWE, whatever. As you can see, this is a super thin belt. It is probably 2 milliliters. I work in the pharmacy, so like I'm always in the milliliters and all that stuff. So for starters, this is probably a 2 millimeter belt. It is, you can see, it is a super thin belt. If you look at it close up, obviously there's going to be a lot of nicks and stuff with the belt just because it's old, right? If I had to rate this belt out of a 10, outside of just the design, because I love this, you know, I love the Big Eagle, and I just, you know, love this belt because of sentimental value, it's probably a 6 out of 10. I might even say 5, but it definitely isn't like a 7. And let me show you the reason why. So for starters, like I said, if you look at, I'm going close up, there is absolutely no dimension or dimensions to this belt. When you see other belt makers that make this, like for example, right here, I'm gonna zoom this right here. See these little like grooves right here that go around here underneath the World Wrestling Federation champion. So the majority of belt makers make that as kind of like a it's dimensioned, like it comes up. So that kind of comes up more, where this is kind of etched in. This plate is pretty much one. It's a plate, and it's almost like they went, psh, psh, okay, there's the engraving. Like the wings don't stick out. The championship right here doesn't stick out. The triangles right here don't stick out. There's like even the dimensions here, they don't stick out. There's not dimensions. If you look at my winged eagle made by Nawaz, there's different dimensions. Like if you rubbed your hand over it like this, your hand would kind of move like this because there was so many different dimensions. The wings would pop up, you know, so many things. You would feel like this is a belt that has different dimensions. This belt does not. It has 0 dimensions. It is one plate, and it etched into this, and it was made. Another thing too is the paint on here. It's a terrible job. If you look at the WWF, let me see where it's at. Okay, right here underneath my finger. I don't know if you could see it. There's paint right here. Right underneath my, right underneath my finger, you could see there's a paint that's like not chipped off, but it's not well. That's not from wear and tear in 20 years. That was there when I first got it. When you look at the championship, like the C right here, like if you could see the C, how it's painted. See at the bottom right there, how it like, it's not smooth. It's terrible. Even the N right here. The N, like you could see the N is not painted well at all. No disrespect to Figures Toy Company, because you know, I don't know if they had a whole a standard back then, but yeah, it's not a very well made belt. But you know what, for 200 bucks it probably is. So let's put this on my shoulder here. Bam. This is how it sits. And like I said, the reason why it sits probably somewhat well is because it's an old belt. So the leather has gotten, when it was in storage, the belt pretty much sat like this in storage in a box. So like it's the way it bends, it's because it was sitting like this. See, hold it like Ric Flair. You know, on the sun it looks pretty nice. On the side, like I said, on the side it just doesn't. So, like tradition, let's put it around the waist. Okay, ready? All right, there it is. The belt is not curved at all. Like it's flat. But just see that. It doesn't look bad, right? I want to say if I didn't have emotional attachment to this belt, I probably would sell it. I don't know. Sell it for a new one. Like I could probably get a good $150 out of this belt, because it's definitely not a commemorative, right? It's made of zinc. You can hear it's definitely, you know, it's not plastic. The belt is now floppy. Obviously it's got wear and tear. You can see from the belt right there. See, it's got wear and tear. But it's still, as I said before, a great centerpiece. And it's a big part of my childhood. I've been a wrestling fan, like I said, for over 30 years. I started watching when Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage were at the top of their game. And then Hogan left, and then Bret Hart led the way. And like I said, was a huge Bret Hart fan. And then the rest is history. I'm still looking forward to WrestleMania this year. I don't think I'll be able to get rid of this because it's got so many sentimental value. Like I said, I've ever since I was younger, I used to wrestle with my brother, and we always used to make our own belts out of like cardboard. And when I bought my belt with my scratcher money, I purchased this belt. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna set this belt down for you guys to take a look at it. Thank you so much for checking out this video. And once again, my name is Larry, Thank you for visiting Larry and his belts.